Let's talk about a brand new movie called Skinamarink coming to Shudder soon and in theaters this Friday. Let's get into it.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? Killjoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're talking a little bit about Skinamarink, a very weird experimental horror film coming out this Friday in theaters and sometime at a later date on Shudder. I am very excited to talk about this very strange seeming movie, but before we get into it, I'm gonna need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more content on cryptic horror films. My personal favorite. Let's dive right into what the heck this movie is all about. Skinamarink is a 2022 Canadian horror film written and directed by Kyle Edward Ball in his feature directorial debut. The film follows two children who wake up during the night to discover that they cannot find their father and the windows, doors, and other objects in their house have disappeared. That premise alone has me wanting to make a whole video about this movie because it seems very weird and very out there and something that is just truly terrifying. It almost seems like a play on like the back rooms where it's just like this endless hallway with these gross looking lights and awful wallpaper and it's just endless. You just have to keep walking essentially. While it's a similar idea, it is very different too because you're just trapped in this one house. Like that's it. You just got a couple of rooms and maybe there's some kind of creepy monster running around. Based off of the trailer, I feel like this is going to be one of those movies where there's not actually a monster, but there's like a creepy voice, or there's a bunch of creepy things happening the whole time, and maybe it results in a character's death, but you never get to explicitly see what is really going on. It seems like one of those movies that's going to be really cryptic and doesn't give you all of the answers right away. I really love movies like this because I kind of like to dig for answers, especially in something where the premise is so strong and so interesting, it's worth a second watch. Those are just my expectations going into it. I have no idea if it's good or not, as I have not seen it yet. That will change this Friday though. Speaking of people who have seen Skinamarink, the film premiered at the 26th Fantasia Film Festival on July 25th of last year, and it is currently set to receive a theatrical release in the United States on January 13th this Friday, with a release on the horror streaming service Shudder at a later date. The cast only features 4 characters, including Kevin and Kaylee, the 2 children trapped in this house, as well as the father and mother. Now, I just want to point out that in that plot description, the person that's missing is the father. A big reason why I point that out is because this plot description says the 2 children wake up and they can't find their father specifically. So what's going on with the mom character here? I think something suspicious is happening with all of that. The trailer that came out pretty recently is also very cryptic and doesn't give a whole lot away, so I really don't have a read on this movie. Like I said before, I feel like this is going to be one where you're really digging for things and something may or may not be there. The writer-director Kyle Edward Ball previously ran a YouTube channel, Bitesized Nightmares, through which he would ask viewers to post comments and their nightmares and then shoot a recreation of said nightmare. Skinamarink was inspired by the tropes recurrent in the most commonly submitted nightmares. The film had a micro budget of $15,000 and was actually shot in Ball's childhood home in Edmonton, Canada. Due to the limited budget, the film was made mostly using equipment borrowed from the local Film and Video Art Society of Alberta. Anything to make your movie, man, I totally get it. Not only did Skinamarink premiere at the Fantasia International Film Festival in Montreal, but it also screened at several other festivals, including some which offered at-home viewing options. Unfortunately, due to a technical issue, one of the festival's platforms allowed the film's digital file to be pirated. This version was repeatedly uploaded to YouTube and excerpts to TikTok and Reddit, where it attracted considerable word-of-mouth acclaim. Ball has expressed disappointment in this, rightfully so. That really sucks that his movie got pirated, but he was also thankful for the positive response. In a lot of weird ways though, this is kind of a good thing. Because of this leak, we have so many different people talking about this crazy little indie film. Otherwise, I feel like this one would just kind of fly under the radar and would maybe get a release on Shudder, and you know, some people would talk about it, but now it's kind of blowing up all over the place like I was just talking about. The reception for this movie has also been mostly positive. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, it currently holds an 85%, which is good. It's, you know, certified fresh and all that. Cool. Good stuff. Based off of some of the reviews I've read for the film too, it seems like this is just going to be a big nightmare of a film, something that causes a lot of anxiety, but doesn't give you a definite answer as to what's really going on the whole time. To quote Dread Central's Josh Corngut's review of Skinamarink, he says, "Filmmaker Kyle Edward Ball demands the audience pick up the shovel and do the digging on their own. It's not fair, but it is an exciting and original vision of what horror can look like." So once again, just going back to what I was saying, this isn't going to be a movie where everything is like straightforward. You're going to know exactly what's going on. It's going to have a clear plot. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to feel like a David Lynchian nightmare where nothing is certain and it's really just trying to give you that feeling of anxiety and dread of not being able to do anything about an awful situation. And I'm going to double down on the whole David Lynch thing. Like seriously, seriously, if you're a fan of his, I think you will like this movie. Movies like this always had me so intrigued, so I had to go see what else Kyle Edward Ball had done, so I went and checked out his YouTube channel, Bitesized Nightmares, and he does some really cool little short films over there. Like I was talking about earlier, he bases a lot of his short films off of the nightmares of his viewers. Like if you actually go through his comments section, he replies to people like after they tell him stories about their own nightmares and says, ooh, I might film that. I'll keep you updated if I do. That is so fascinating, and I cannot believe this guy only has like 6,000 subscribers. Go subscribe to his page right now. Seriously, I have the link in the description below. Go check this out. So far, I've watched 2 of his short films, and they are awesome. They are so anxiety-inducing, and you're just like terrified the whole time, and it's typically a slow build up until something really creepy happens. It perfectly feels like a nightmare, and I'm expecting nothing less from Skinamarink, which I think this movie is named after like that children's song, but every time I look it up, it comes up as Skinamarink, like skid marks like in your underwear when you yourself. I am all too familiar with that. But no, this movie is not Skidmark. This is Skinamarink. Whatever the hell that means. The film runs 100 minutes long. It's coming to Shudder sometime soon, and it's going to be in theaters this Friday. Are you going to go check this puppy out? Are you excited for it? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this brand new weird video on Skinamarink. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content in the future. Please consider supporting me on Patreon as well, or becoming a channel member by clicking that join button on my page. Thank you all for watching again, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.